Welcome back to another episode of Lovin from the Oven. Today we're talking about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 11, Wake Up. Let's have fun. This episode's summary is that May works to uncover the truth about what happened to her, and Ada's next move puts everyone's life at risk. Let's dig in.
One personal favorite of mine was the May dream sequence, where we find out that May is indeed not trying to escape in real life, but she is stuck in this dream that Radcliffe and Ada sort of formulated to fit her needs, since May is such a volatile and confrontational person.
And she was totally in this loop.
She was totally just fighting for her life, and that is the only way to keep her calm.
Yeah, it was really cool.
And keep her comatose.
Yeah, but it still wasn't good enough because she was getting better.
She was getting better, and they had to keep building these levels, and it was very Inception-like.
I liked it.
I loved it.
It was also reminded me of the attic from Dollhouse.
Yes!
Where they're trying to escape, and it's all of these, like, everybody's worst fears. I liked it. It was definitely a cool choice for May.
A lot of Dollhouse, like...
A lot going through this episode.
A lot of it, yeah.
Yeah, we picked up a lot. One of my highlights, I love that we got this callback to Bahrain. Yes. To later on when they weren't quite appeasing May that way, they sent her back to finish the one job that it just sat with her that it wasn't done. And what's cool about that is it also reminded me of Dollhouse. It reminded me of episode 6 when we see Patton Oswalt.
Oh yes.
And I'm calling it episode 6. Damn it. I don't know what episode number it was.
Which one it is either.
But we see Patton Oswalt for the first time in Dollhouse because Echo, she's hired as one of his clients and she has to go back. She has this sense of incompletion. The job's not finished. And she has to go back and finish the job. And that reminded me of that. I thought that was pretty cool.
And she calls Andrew, and that was a little...
That was sad.
A little sad throwback.
That was sad, too. A lot of throwbacks this episode. Your next highlight.
Mac and his backstory with his daughter.
Oh, it was a big surprise.
It's a huge surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew a little bit about his family history, that he had a brother.
That was all I knew, though.
I didn't think, children. Oh,
no. And the wife.
He was with a woman, married at one point.
Yeah.
It just totally threw me for a loop, and it was just very heartbreaking. And I loved that Yo-Yo immediately comforted him.
Yeah, she did a big turnaround.
Big turnaround.
It was really cool. A good moment for them.
Yeah.
And I like that their relationship's progressing.
They're so cute.
One of my other highlights was last time we predicted that Fitz and Simmons would start to drift because Simmons doesn't know what Fitz is doing with Ada.
And it's a Whedon show.
Right, and they were happy for too long. But what was cool was that they faked us out. This wedge was driven between them, and it didn't last longer than this episode because, like, Fitz wasn't sneaking around behind Simmons' back. He was doing something for everybody's own good, and that was a cool little fake out, and I really enjoyed it.
My last highlight, I loved the scene with Daisy and Mace in the courtroom before she gets questioned by Senator Nadir. I loved that they bonded over the fact that they're constantly having to put on these acts and be people that they're not, and then that they're so used to pretending to be somebody else that they're not really sure who they are.
And it was cool to see Mace in that capacity.
I know.
He's not the head honcho mysterious guy. He's like one of the gang.
Exactly, and it was a great bonding moment between the two. And because I feel like when she joined the ranks, they were kind of butting heads a little bit.
Definitely.
So it's great to see him work together with other members of the team.
And my final highlight was another Dollhouse callback. This whole episode, I felt like it was about the exploration of free will versus programming, and this Radcliffe and May story where they're talking about well, you were already programmed. You're programmed as a person, and it took me back to the unaired pilot of Dollhouse when Topher gives Boyd his little monologue about how humanity is just a series of social programs. And that's how we interact with each other. We follow rules that we are not even aware were created by other people. And I thought it was a cool little motif running through the episode. Those were our highlights.
important character from this episode, 100% May.
Oh, it was definitely a May episode.
Stole the show. I mean, the episode title, Wake Up, alludes to the fact that she is in a coma.
Right. It's totally May was the thread. She held this whole thing.
The thread that held the whole episode together. Her finding out that she's asleep and she's being held hostage.
And the other May finding out that she's an LMD.
Exactly. Not only did we have one May, but we had two Mays this episode to look forward to. So
it was cool.
She stole. I love that May kind of is carrying this LMD arc.
Yeah, it was a nice surprise.
It's a nice surprise, and I feel like, and I enjoy Daisy, but I feel like it's nice to see her kind of take a backseat and let characters like May come forward and get a bit of the spotlight.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things they've been doing just these last couple stellar episodes is like
great.
Sharing the love. It feels like an ensemble show again, and it's great. It's really hard to pick a specific moment for her because that's the whole episode was really just May.
Episode, just one long May moment, and it was glorious.
Element of surprise was all over this episode. My biggest surprise was that Radcliffe was working with Nadir at the end. It was, it wasn't even a huge surprise because it was like he turned within the course of the episode.
Exactly.
But it was still totally not something I saw coming. These two didn't seem to have any goals in common. So it's really cool and I want to see where it goes.
I mean, it's nice to see how their goals will end up aligning together, even though, like you said, it's not apparent right off the bat that they would have anything in common. Yeah,
it was a surprise. It was a big twist, and I really dug it. And you had a big surprise too, right?
Yes, I did. My element of surprise was when Fitz shot Radcliffe.
Oh, that was awesome.
Like, holy guacamole. Like, I was like, what? Fitz just raises a gun and shoots him in the head. And then that kind of piggybacks into my other element of surprise, Radcliffe being an LMD at the end of the episode.
Yeah, definitely cool because
what?
They told us at the beginning of the episode that somebody else was an LMD, and you spend the whole episode trying to figure out, like,
it is,
it's Daisy, right?
Oh, totally.
Oh, no, it's Coulson. Oh no, it's Mac. He disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
He's got orders. It's like, we went through, and I went through it all, and it was cool that it was Radcliffe. That was because I hadn't seen him enough to think about it being him.
I know.
And obviously, it makes sense.
And I gotta give a shout out to John Hannah. Like, he's been doing so well this
that
season.
He's a part of the show now.
He's great.
Like he really stood out when we first met him last year, but this year, he's a good addition.
And the Scottish on Scottish scenes are great. Let's keep them coming.
Some of our long-term predictions, personally, I think that Radcliffe is going to die at the hands of May. Now, I'm not sure which May that's going to be. It might be El May D, as they're calling it, or it might be real May when she wakes up. But I think Radcliffe's going to die, and I think May's going to do it.
Now, my long-term prediction kind of conflicts with Chris's. I think that Ada will kill Radcliffe. I think that it's one of those scenarios where the machine surpasses the man, and that she will turn on him, and she will kill him, and she will hopefully act out her Ultron-esque plan, whatever that may be. But I think that's how he's going to go.
And neither of us think he's making it past the end of the season.
What we're saying is he's going to die.
Yeah, right after we praised him.
Do you think we will see Nadir's brother again? Now, if you remember, he didn't actually die. I mean, it looked like he was very, very dead because, you get shot and
what was it I said earlier?
Thrown into the water, super dead.
Super dead.
He looked super dead.
He looked super dead.
But if you remember when he's lying on the bottom of the ocean floor, you see a little bit of...
He recocoons.
Recocoons, yes.
Maybe a new inhuman mystery.
Maybe that's part of his superpower.
Yeah, or maybe it has to do with it could have to do with the fish oil in the water too.
Yeah.
Like the not the fish oil, but the fact that all of that stuff fell into the water in the first place.
Exactly, and that's how a lot of people were exposed to it.
So, what do you guys think? Will we see him again? Let us know. We've got comments, and we're doing social media, so
yes, check us out. Twitter, it's just at WhedonCon. Also, check us out on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
WhedonCon, Whedonopolis. We've got a couple different pages, but if you want more info about our con, you better go to WhedonCon.
Please do. And subscribe to this channel if you want to see more.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
Have a good night.